Hello, I'll be taking you through the VectorMind platform. By now, the team on our side would have uploaded all the documents. We would have spun up your instance, and invitation emails to the instance would have been sent to you by now. So you'll be greeted with a login page. You will have your own option here depending on your company name. Okay. Then you will land here on the dashboard page. Admin users will be able to see this. You can see your total prompts made, user growth, source documents trained on a monthly basis. And then you can go to the next tab called AI services. So we have a few different AI services. We have a drafting engine, which uses a template and then a few questions like a survey form. And then when you fill that in, you can generate or draft your own document. So the example we're going to be using today is a poem drafter. You can also use it for press releases or proposals or any kind of document you want to do on a specific standard. Let's start here. Some of these templates have about 6 pages, and this one only has 2. So you enter your name, enter the school, then the topic, let's say, Justice League style, sarcastic and funny, and then you choose your grade. This one is specifically for schools. And then you press complete, and then all the input from the user will be used to draft this poem. Okay, so it will return a better format. Topic, Justice League, name, all of these, and then the actual poem will be put here. It's supposed to be sarcastic and funny, and then you can click on finalize and download, and you will receive a PDF in your downloads folder. You can access this later. Then we have RAG Assistant. We have a policy assistant and a Cohesion X knowledge bot, just as an example. You can create an HR assistant or any type of business related things, a math or whatever. Let's use the policy assistant. So these assistants are trained on specific documents. These are the documents I referred to earlier. When you have an HR assistant, then all of your HR policies will be trained into this assistant's namespace. This one is, of course, trained on policies. So let's say, please tell me about the conflict of interest policy. The specific document has been trained onto or into this assistant, and then it will refer to its source document and then return all the information it gathered, depending on your query. Then we also have the business GPT, which is like ChatGPT, but safer with guardrails. None of your information gets leaked, and you can use it for anything. And all your documents stay in your own chat, so no one in your business will be able to access it. And it's free. It's included in your package in the beginning as an initial entry level, and then further on we can add new assistants like the drafting engine or any assistant here. Yes. Okay. Then while we're on the AI assistant page, let's go to schema engine here at the bottom. We have lab results and property management. So how this one works is instead of someone sitting there having to write over about 100 documents every month, you can just upload one document here. Let's go to lab traces. lab testing. So then this document gets processed, and then we wait for that to return. So it returns the results in a JSON format. Let's just copy it. This is just to shorten it. So let's go here, paste it, and then just format. Okay, so the assistant will then reason and say what this thing is about, and then it will say the test request number, test name, test unit, all of that extracted from that one document. So you can do bulk uploading as well. That's what we're working on at the moment. So you can put in 20 documents and then get all 20 separately. This is just to make it a bit quicker, the process. We're not replacing people's jobs. Then when we go to property management, this one is for invoices or that specific topic. So let's go here and then download municipal invoice. And then when this one gets processed, it extracts invoice numbers and all the main points discussed in that document. So let's view the results. Invoice number, electricity meter, tariff codes, anomalies, anything to have better control over all the invoices you send out. Okay. Then let's go to digital asset management. We have an overview of all the documents trained here. Some errors, some untrained, some trained. And we can go to projects. This is where your list of projects are. So we can go, for example, into the Cohesion X one. Has a project name, project description, and then the specific namespace. So the namespaces are where the documents are trained into. So if you have a few different projects with different namespaces, then you will have to create different assistants, because the policy assistant is referring to the compliance namespace, where the Cohesion X knowledge bot is going to the CX guide. And this is just the info map as an example. Let's go to compliance. All the documents are listed here that's trained in. Here's that conflict of interest policy. And how it works is you click on this folder or a specific folder and then add file. And this is then where you start training your document. So you select a source, you select a title, description, and then once the document is uploaded, it will automatically populate these fields, and then you just click train, and then the document is trained. And when you want to remove, just say delete in all caps, and that asset is removed. Okay, now user management. This is where users get invited. So you just go to invite, enter their email, and then first name, last name, and then invite. And then that email you receive to join this instance will be the same. Let's go back here. So when we go to my account, you can also see the information here, and you can go to roles and then select a specific role. So support users are usually what the QA testing team get. So they can still see everything on the left-hand side, but they can't change anything. It's just to see if something's wrong or if there's an error, if they can fix it. Then normal users will only have access to AI services. So they won't see the dashboard or digital asset management or any of these. Super users will be able to train documents into the info map, but they won't be able to edit any of the AI service configuration. That's where we're going right now. And then admins, of course, have access to everything. You can also delete the user once they leave or they're fired or whatever. Then we can go to user groups. At the moment, there are two here. So how user groups work, you assign users to that specific group. And then when we go to asset management, we'll see here now, Cohesion X and demo, you can assign a bot to a specific user group. And then when people aren't assigned to that user group, that bot won't be appearing here. So as you can see, we have a general assistant and a product assistant. So when we go to the policy assistant, we can see that its configuration here. At the moment, we can see it on the left-hand side because there are no groups assigned to it. So when we select Cohesion X knowledge, I'm not part of that user group, and we save it and refresh, we can see that the policy assistant has disappeared. So that's just better for specific bots, or if you have an HR bot which shouldn't give you citations or anything to a specific user group in the company, then you can create user groups specifically for that. So we have the name of the assistant, and then we can select which type of assistant it should be, a basic RAG or a business GPT, and then it gets its own prompt. So this one is specifically for all the professional accuracy driven assistants for Cohesion X, and then we end with a context window so it knows what you're speaking about. We can leave this blank. Then we have the namespace. As we said earlier, it's a compliance namespace. So that's where all those specific documents are trained to. The number of documents is the accuracy for the bot you want. So the higher it is, the more documents it can refer to. But if you want specific product lookups or these policy documents, then you keep it on 5 or something low. These you can also leave on default. Enable citations and document page references. This is so you can monitor the bot's accuracy and what it actually refers to. So when all of these are clicked yes, the document or the bot will say at the end of its message source document and then the name you trained into and then on which page you can find this reference. There's also an option to click on the document and then it will take you to the actual PDF so you can look for yourself. All the setups here, you get a specific API key, you choose the model for that specific bot. We're using 4.0. And then these usually stay at the same temperature, 0.3, and user groups. And then you can also get a bot avatar. So when you want the bot to have a specific logo, you can upload it here and then save. And then as you saw earlier, when you speak to the bot, it has its own logo here. So it's a business GPT logo by default, but if you want to change it, you can. Then ingestion, this is more for database users. At the moment, we only have 4 here. So how it works is let's create one. So this is just for tables and live feeds. So if you have an e-commerce site or specifically WordPress, you can constantly update your data so it stays on the same or up to date with our flat query assistant, which I'll show you now. Let's create one product test. And then when we go in here, we can manage the table. So we can either go to WooCommerce or HivePress. These are the 2 specific tables we are busy with. Manage columns, and it will also have its own default 61 rows for a WooCommerce product table. So this is just for if you have a specific e-commerce issue or you want our flat query assistant for your AI searches, then we add the ingestion to your instance. Credentials don't matter here. Scheduling. Currently there's nothing, but this is just to set the frequency of your table updates. And you can have it update every 5 minutes, every 30 minutes, every hour, depending on depending on how busy and frequently your table changes. Then we have the settings tab. This is theming, so you can we're working on an image upload, but at the moment we only have URLs. So this is for the logo on the left-hand side at the top. And then we have the long logo, which displays on the chat bots when you chat to, or before you send your first chat. Then we have the avatar URL, also the same when it's when you speak to the bot, that avatar appears there. And then the background where you get the login page. You can also change your colors, your company name, and intro text. Then currently in development for the UI, we do have these schema engines I showed just now, but we also have image detectors. So how that works is you can upload, for example, a car model checker. You upload any picture of a vehicle, and then that schema engine will then analyze the image you just provided and then say, this is a Mercedes E-Class, what year, what color. Also have anomaly checkers on damaged vehicles, damaged furniture. And we can also have nutrient detectors for your food labels. It can extract all that information so you don't have to rewrite everything, which takes forever. Then we also have a flat query that's not on the instance right now. This is a structured AI assistant. So this is more for like the WooCommerce page, the ingestion table I showed you earlier. You can use this assistant to search, do you have any red polos? And then it will search your database and then return any red polos it finds. Or you can say, I want to hunt I want to hunt an elephant, and then any weapons on your product list viable for elephant hunting will then appear. Ammo as well. And you can also do any product searches if you want, just if you ask for any jerry cans with a 20-liter size capacity, then it will return all the jerry cans with that capacity size on that table. So it's more like a structured AI search, the flat query. So it has the structured data which is trained on, so tables, CSV files, and then you can use natural language with the search function and then return anything on your table or your e-commerce site. And that's what we have.